Dancers spend hours looking through mirrors and seeing their self-reflection under pressure, trying to fit in a certain way, and that can affect the way they will feel about their bodies. According to my stimulus provided in the College Board from Selena and Latinidad, to evoke Selena is to evoke her absence to attend to the Huango fit, the hollow and hollow spaces of her remains. Deborah Paredes explains that Latina women who auditioned for the film strongly identified with Selena's natural appearance, working class background, and cultural pride. This example might not directly link to my participation in dance and negative body image, but it connects to how performance and public representation can influence body image perceptions. This raises my question to what extent does participation in dance negatively impact body image? To begin with my argument, dancers face serial mental health issues due to pressure influenced by negative connotations towards their body image. This is why it is imperative to promote body positivity. As you can see in this image in Point School of Ballet, it illustrates a dancer in a studio being criticized by a teacher where these pressures can often be manifested. It also directs to my standards of the argument where it shows the pressure a dancer could face throughout the time in a studio. Diving into my claims, my first claim is pressure to meet aesthetic standards. This isn't about looking good, it is seriously impacting their mental health, and it is a tough spot to be into. My second claim is comparison and body criticism, which social media platforms can play a huge role in body image, and it is easy to fall into the comparison trap. And then my third claim is unhealthy habits, which we can't ignore the unhealthy habits that dancers tend to create that people don't normally realize or them themselves won't know. And that comes from the pressure that you won't feel unless you're going through it, and it will cost. Now, looking at this image, this is a way that in dance classes you might be starting to feel, but you don't feel it when you're like showing your movements and stuff, so a teacher or someone else can see. For my first claim, unrealistic standards create immense pressure to conform, which can really affect their confidence and passion for dance. They're always told that they need to look a certain way, which is thin, toned, and elegant, and it can make them feel bad about themselves or not good enough or valued. This image shows the way that teachers expect you to look, but dancers themselves don't know if they're properly doing it right or if it's a bad thing for them. In this chart from Journal from Frontiers, it shows my claim by showing how aesthetic standards lead to the increased stress and mental health issues, highlighting the ongoing negative effects. You can see how the levels of stress and anxiety are increasing over time, and all these negative effects, they don't realize that they're going through that. My second claim, comparison and criticism. Frequent self-reflection. They're always going through this thing where they're always looking through a mirror and they might be thinking they're doing good. But some other people, like peers, teachers, and judges, can tell them something the opposite. And they're gonna be thinking, okay, what can I do to fix it? But they overthink it and they put time and effort, and it can cause them to be criticized, or it can impact their mentality and their health. So it can lead to their self-doubt and a negative self-image impacting themselves. As you can see in this image from Dance Australia, you can see what a dancer tends to do, overthinking her movements, causing her to feel overwhelmed and stressed.
Watch the way she moves. Imprecise, but effortless. She's not faking it.
Okay. This video shows another way that dancers are being compared to with themselves, and teachers can also affect them coming in and bringing them negative effects. We can't ignore the fact that negative self-image leads to unhealthy habits, like eating disorders, injuries, and health issues. The image shown above from the Russian Ballet International shows how children at a young age are being pressured and disciplined in class, and that can lead to health issues, injuries, and possibly eating disorders. This pressure to stay thin or fit a certain image can lead some dancers to eat less, exercise too much, or develop unhealthy habits just to meet their expectations. Although dance can be a very beneficial environment for dancers and can lead them to a good professional career, the world they live in normally is something that people don't tend to realize, and there's a deeper connection to dance and their feelings. Limitations. Some limitations are like not all dancers are affected by this. They can be in a good route or in a good path that they're following. Or the lack of enforcement or support. They're going through this alone and they don't have someone sometimes to talk to, so I feel like they just need more people to come in between them and just help them out. Body expectations, different style of dance. The differences of styles in dance, they have the expectations, different expectations and what they need to bring, on the way they need to look or what they need to do to fit in. And solutions. Proper education on nutritional health. We need that more. We need to teach them to be healthier, to have a better nutrition, or promote body diversity, accept their differences, accept how they're unique and different. And then obviously you always have to prioritize performance over aesthetics. Their aesthetics doesn't mean what they do with their performance. Their performance is what, shows their true selves. Oh, done.
All right, 2 questions for you. First up, how valid and reliable were the sources that you used, and then how do you know they were?
They were valuable and reliable because my sources were used by different perspectives from dancers who actually went through this, and from journals that teachers even spoke out or peers had to speak out to really explain what they were going through.
Okay, next question. If you had more time, what additional research would you have conducted on this issue?
If I had more time, I would have conducted more research on more perspectives on how they went through this without knowing that they do go through the issues that dancers don't tend to realize, and finding more perspectives would have helped me gather more information to explain more of my reasons.